Hey machos, welcome to Black Macho YouTube channel. I am Soncerae Monique. I appreciate you being subscribed to my YouTube channel. I wanted to talk to you guys today about Michael Todd, the pastor of Transformation Church, a multi-campus church in Tulsa, Oklahoma. The church was founded in 2015 and has grown rapidly since. Michael Todd is known for his dynamic preaching style and commitment to making theology accessible and relevant to today's culture. Sorry about my son just screaming in the background. If you watch some of my podcasts, you have seen me pull out the bullhorn and yell at him plenty of times. But the door is wide open and he's just running around the studio, just doing whatever. So forgive me if you hear him screaming in the background, okay? So anyway, the church has a strong focus on community and has launched a number of initiatives aimed at helping people transform their lives and reach their full potential. Just recently, we know that Easter just passed, and what I have been seeing lately are a whole bunch of clips associated with the Transformation Church. The church has been thrust into the spotlight of a lively online debate after a TikTok video of one of their services went viral. The video suggested that the church was more energetic than a typical Easter Sunday gathering. And honestly, when you start looking at how most of these churches, newer aged ones, they have that energy. Like, church is not as boring as it used to be. This church has done some very amazing things as far as like reinventing Christianity, basically. This is what I want to say. And I know it's difficult for people who have, grew up in a traditional Christian environment to see something like this. They've been saying that this specific service was kind of like the Grammys. And if any of y'all remember the Grammys earlier this year, it was kind of demonic. Everything was about demons and fire and boop, boop, boop. So a lot of the clips associated with the specific Sunday service aren't looking too good. They're looking extremely demonic. Christians criticizing the Transformation Church for what they perceive as an excessively distracting worship experience. However, there are also some who defend the church and its approach celebrating the Lord. Now, if you prefer like low key, simple worship experiences, you're not going to like the Transformation Church at all. Like, the Transformation Church is new age, it's not old school. It was funny is when I lived in Atlanta, when Bishop Eddie Long was alive, he was the pastor at New Birth. And New Birth kind of reminded me of that type of experience where I was like watching the devil in HD. So I definitely stopped going to New Birth. Like, it didn't feel like the church that I came from when I lived in the DMV. I used to go to a church called Ebenezer AME in Fort Washington, Maryland. And during that time, that was my experience. I don't know if Ebenezer AME just suddenly turned into like the mega church experience, but for the most part, New Birth and Ebenezer AME, it was completely two different things. And so it made me feel uncomfortable because of the type of church environment I grew up in. The Transformation Church's YouTube channel has 2 million subscribers. It's known for showing their Sunday service, but I don't think they're going to show this specific service all the way through. But after watching a couple of the clips, I realized that it could be a possibility that they were putting on some type of play. So the demonic stuff we were seeing initially was probably just a performance to show how Jesus was resurrected. It almost reminds me of like if you've gone to a Wizard of Oz play, or you've gone to see, I don't know, Rent or Cats or some shit like that, right? It's not something that, is put on as like this demonic thing, but because it's Easter, they are kind of like poking fun at some of the demonic things, I want to say like that, and then encouraging people to choose. And it was kind of encouraging people to make better choices and to choose Christianity. I just feel like there needs to be more context to this before we can decide that this was a demonic show. I think it was just that was part of the play, and we didn't get to see the rest of the performance where it was saying, hey, this person, this specific main character of this play decided to turn their life around and, run to Jesus, basically, is what it seemed like. It looked like it was going towards. Now, if you've been to church, you kind of know that's how it goes. Like they start telling this like negative story of someone's experience inside of the Bible and how they turn to God. You know, you would just have to kind of be a Christian and experience, you know, the type of entertainment associated with your church to know that this is kind of the type of thing that they do. So I do feel like this was something that they were supposed to kind of show on another day. Maybe it should have been part of a revival or maybe some type of concert they put on a weekend night or something like that. It doesn't look like it's something that was supposed to be showed on a Sunday service. But then again, you kind of got to reinvent, you know, so people can feel comfortable with being inside of your church. I mean, church be boring, like for real. This kind of reminds me of back when I was younger, when I was going to church, when I said I was going to Ebenezer AME, and Kirk Franklin put out the song Stomp. Do y'all remember Stomp? Stomp. And all my people say Stomp. And all my brothers say Stomp. It has salt and pepper in it. I promise the stomp, the whole stomp, nothing but the stomp. Some critics and religious leaders in particular were reportedly outraged by the song's seeming deviation from traditional Christian worship culture. These critics argued that the song was too secular, too worldly, and even vulgar in its use of certain lyrics and instrumentation. People didn't like when Kirk Franklin did that. The song Stop enjoys its place as one of King Franklin. Say King Franklin. The song Stomp enjoys its place as one of Kirk Franklin's most successful and enduring hits. Its energetic beat and catchy melody continues to draw listeners from around the world, while its message of joy and celebration remains as relevant and potent as ever. Like I said, it's crucial to make people feel comfortable with fellowship at church because it's a community that brings people together in Christ. The church is a place where individuals come to seek prayer, guidance, fellowship, and to deepen their faith journey. One of the most effective ways to make people feel more at ease is by creating diverse programs and activities that caters to individuals' needs. So to me, it makes sense that the Transformation Church would do something like that because it's new age. It's catering to the people who are included. It's encouraging people who are on social media all over the world to watch their services. It's basically customizing the experience. Every church, there are programs designed for people of all ages, interests, and backgrounds. This just could have been the young people portion or the, you know what I mean? This also kind of reminds me of this whole praise this thing with Chloe Bailey. I still don't know a lot about it, but when I saw the trailer for it, I was like, oh my God. Immediately, a whole bunch of Christians were like, hell no. It's a whole no. This is not a Christian movie. Don't go see this. It had Chloe Bailey, Quavo, Corinne Hawthorne. Even Corinne Hawthorne's performance inside of that movie was kind of secular. So what they're doing is taking all of the secular music and putting Christian words to it, which at the same time, it's kind of, you know, it's okay. It's kind of dope. It makes it, you know, relatable. But Praise This is actually on Peacock. I don't know if you have Peacock, but Peacock had the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air on it. So that's why I had bought it when I did buy it. For some reason, it kind of reminds me of Fighting Temptations with Beyonce. It's like Chloe's version of I Want to Be Beyonce. And I'm kind of sick of Chloe doing that. It's kind of like I need for Chloe to actually be Chloe and stop being in tune with her inner Sasha Fierce, I want to say. She doesn't have any originality. Everything about her has something to do with Beyonce, and that's concerning to me. It's like, oh, the same typical story. Someone who wasn't of God decided to come to church and be of God so the church could win the competition or win some prize or money or whatever the case is. So Praise This is just a new age Fighting Temptations basically. In order to draw new people closer to Jesus Christ, churches should also explore new and inventive ways to engage their congregations. And I feel like that's what Transformation Church does. When a church does that, it could potentially involve exploring new technologies, outreach programs to schools and universities, and social media platforms. By creating a welcoming atmosphere, congregations will encourage not only their mentors, but others they meet in their daily lives to join them in fellowship. Learning and growth are always welcome activities in the church, no matter how much they may be challenged. Therefore, it's essential to make sure that everyone feels comfortable privately and publicly expressing the learning experience that they result from exposure to Christianity and God. And by making this possible, both personally and organizationally, congregants will continue to realize the value and beauty of the church's mission. I don't know why people keep turning their nose up at this. What the Transformation Church is doing is nothing new. Other churches have participated in this. There are plenty of controversial things that people like to subscribe to that aren't necessarily traditional. For example, the Instagram account Spiritual Word. Have y'all seen that? Spiritual Word is a popular account that is dedicated to sharing inspirational quotes, sayings, and advice related to spirituality and personal growth. And it has about 2 million followers. The account has quickly become a go-to source for people seeking motivation and guidance on their spiritual journey. But it is a controversial account. It's garnered a lot of attention because of that. Controversy surrounding the account arises from the fact that some people believe that the messages being shared on the account are overly simplistic and lack depth. But then there are also some who question the authenticity of the spiritual teachings being shared on the page, as well as the secular news posted to the account. Because if you go look at the feed, it's a whole bunch of stuff in there as far as entertainment news and the Black community that has nothing to do with Christianity. Most of the stuff that they post on that account has nothing to do with Christianity or spirituality. Most of it is news. Most of it is Black news. It's basically just a Black news media source. And then they post some inspirational spiritual quotes sometimes. That's all it is. But despite the criticism, those who follow the Spiritual Word account find the messages inspiring and uplifting. The account has become a gathering place for those seeking spiritual guidance, and with many followers sharing their own thoughts and insights in the comment section below is what makes it entertaining. The same way that the Transformation Church does what they do in order to get more subscriptions and to get more views. Personally, I just feel like people need to stop being so goddamn judgmental. Pretty much. I'm not Christian anymore. Like I said, I used to be a minister and a gospel singer many, many moons ago. When I was a teenager, I was singing gospel music. In my early 20s, I was singing gospel music. And then I moved to Atlanta. And honey, the stuff that I saw in ATL, I couldn't believe. I mean, it was churches everywhere. It was churches on every corner. And I wasn't used to seeing that. Like, it was like I'd see a liquor store and then a church and then an insurrection. And I'd be like, okay, liquors, church, then sex toys. Why is that in the same vicinity? It was confusing. So I ended up kind of losing my faith, and now I'm Buddhist, and actually Buddhism is more of a fit to me. Spirituality, metaphysics is more of a fit to me. Now let me know your thoughts about Michael Todd in my comment section below. Thanks for watching. Keep the conversation going and join the Black Macho Discord now. You love my content, don't you? Well, join the Black Macho Patreon. Membership includes macho merchandise, digital ebooks, exclusive content, and commission-based ways to earn income with me, Soncerae Monique. Welcome to my side of the internet. My name is Soncerae Monique. I'm a certified life coach for both men and women. I have a 50-50 audience, so I try to play fair with both genders. I'm going to keep it real with both of y'all. Everybody can improve because everybody is a part of the problem. I want everyone to unify and produce loving unions. Hopefully you do too. There is no gender war here. I promote positive perspectives and healthy debates, so be careful what you post inside of my comment section. It is very much okay to disagree, but have emotional intelligence and release toxicity elsewhere, ladies and gents. Don't take it out on each other. Make sure you follow me on all of my socials. Go to SonceraeMonique.com to purchase any of my books or to sign up on any of my membership sites. Thank you for spending time with me. Have vision and stay focused. Namaste.